This time on Marketing to Tourists, we're going to cover some familiar ground. It's keywords in Google. But I bet you haven't heard this. Let's get started. Coming up at the end of this video, I've got a free gift for you. It's a 72-page PDF called Marketing 101. But first, I wanted to define long-tail keyword, and you'll see why in just a minute. A long-tail keyword is usually 4 or 5 words, a phrase really, perhaps a whole sentence, that defines something very specific that you want the search engines to locate for you. Now, a little information. Did you know that the top 100 searches on Google only account for 6% of their traffic? As a matter of fact, the top 1,000 keyword terms only account for 11% of all their searches. That means that 89% of all the searches on Google are these long-tail keywords. Now you can see why it's so important. As a matter of fact, it's more interesting. 15% of all the searches on Google are for something Google has never seen before, something unique. So the top 1,000 most common search terms are not as common as unique search terms. People are searching for very specific things on these search engines, and that gives the small business person an opportunity to compete. Now, I want to talk for a second about something called Google Analytics. It's a free piece of software you can install on your website that gives you all kinds of insights to what people are looking for and what they're doing when they get to your website. Let's look into that a little further. I have 22 websites that I take care of on Google Analytics for different clients. And of course, what we're interested in today is keywords. That's acquisition, and under acquisition, you'll find keywords, and we're interested in organic keywords. Those are the terms people are searching for when they're looking for our particular tourist attraction. You'll find in the last month, we've had 185 different keywords typed into Google, but we want more than that. See, we're going to come back up to the top and open this up to the last couple of years. The reason for doing that will become apparent when we scroll back down and realize now we have 3,400 of these search terms. And because we have so many, we're going to drop this down to 5,000 so it'll show everything at one time. We want to save these search terms. And this is the reason why. It's the most common thing. It says not provided. I'll come back to that in just a second. Back up at the top, export. CSV, the most common format for exporting a spreadsheet. And that way, you have it on your desktop and you can open it up and search some of these search terms in a few minutes. But back to not provided. Not provided, I thought at first was, well, the web browser didn't report it or Google lost it somehow. It didn't come through, but that's not true at all. Not provided is the search terms Google is holding out on. They don't want you to have about half of all the search terms. And look at this. In the last year or so, they've really stepped up the not provided category. In fact, it accounts for close to half of all the visits. What are they doing with these keywords that they're not going to show you? What they're doing with them is selling them on AdWords. Now think for a second, who would be interested in knowing what keywords folks are typing in when they come to visit your website? Of course, it's people in your same niche. Not to put too fine a point on it, it's your competitors. So we want to download these keywords and keep them on our computer where Google can't erase them or play with them anymore. By the way, in my opinion, the amount of information Google is selling is really not worth canceling your Google Analytics account. In other words, I still like analytics, even if I don't care for what Google is doing. By the way, there are over 25 million analytics accounts currently installed on a number of websites around the world. So, we've downloaded our keywords, we've put them on our desktop. Let's go open it up and see what we have. Inside our Excel spreadsheet, of course, first we want to open it up so we can fully see the keywords. And you'll notice something. There's a word Morristown, which appears quite often. In fact, it's surprisingly often, hundreds of times. Morristown, Tennessee. And if we scroll on down, which I've already done, and I'm not going to waste your time with a lot of this, you'll see Morristown appears quite often. And you'll also find that the word Knoxville also appears quite often throughout this thing. So I'm not looking for any one individual keyword because over the course of 2 years, this keyword, phone number, has only appeared 11 times. It's not worth making a whole lot of changes, but the word Morristown appears really all the time, and I want to make extra sure I have Morristown several times in my website. So as you can see, I'm really not going to create a separate page for every keyword. I'm just scanning for common keywords to make sure if something is repetitive, if people are typing it in again and again, I want to make sure that particular word is showing up on my website. So let's go install it. Let's have a look at the results of our efforts. What we've done is worked a couple of those long tail keywords into our directions page. Remember we mentioned Morristown. It's here, and it's here, and it's here. The other one that I showed to you was Knoxville, Tennessee. And that should help us make sure that if someone types in one of those two words trying to find our client's website, we're going to show up. So we've gone back to our website, installed the word 3 times on the direction page, and both keywords were also used in the description tag. By the way, you also should be aware that Google says they're not using keywords in ranking the page per se. In other words, simply adding the word Morristown 25 times will not make this page rank number 1 for every last search for Morristown. That's why I wasn't terribly concerned about installing the exact key phrase several times on the page. It's simply not worth your effort. Write your text as though you want humans to read it. Now, I hope you learned a little something, and if you did, please subscribe to our site and to the next movie coming up so you know when I put the next one out. Also, we have a little gift for you. It's a 72-page PDF. It's called Marketing 101, and you can have your copy right here. Just click on that, and it'll take you to our website. You can sign up for email so we know where to send the PDF to, and you can have it in just the next few seconds. Guys, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.